Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. I'm going to talk to you today about produce. This is the most important element of our diet. Very few calories for a ton of nutrients. This should be making up the majority of your plate. I oftentimes say half of your plate or about the size of your head in fruits and vegetables every single day. So let me go ahead and pull this up for us. And again, I will be attaching this for you to print, download, and have for your own reference. So for optimal health, we have found that 9 to 11 servings of fruits and vegetables are recommended. So you've probably heard of the 5 a day. That is to meet just general population, people that, maybe are struggling to buy vegetables or just don't like them. But if we're talking about optimal health, we're talking 9 to 11 servings to really reap those benefits, combat chronic disease. But every little bit counts. So we're going to talk about ways we can add those in. Um, Aiming for the size of your head in vegetable consumption, consuming 2 to 3 times more vegetables than fruit intake. Fruit's going to have a little bit more carbohydrate and sugar, but it also does have a lot of benefits. So just making sure we're eating those in moderation. I usually recommend about 2 to 3 servings of fruit a day, probably closer to 2 when we have a weight loss goal. Talked about being nutrient dense, meaning the foods are low in calories but packed with different nutrients. These nutrients being phytochemicals, which are the compounds in plants that contribute to their color, taste, and smell. So they're found in all edible portions of the plant, especially the skin and peel, which we know a lot of times skin and peels are going to contain a lot of fiber, which we know is helpful for healthy cholesterol and a healthy digestive system. So the types of phytochemicals are going to be carotenoids, flavonoids, anthocyanins, resveratrol, proanthocyanidins, and flavanols, as well as sulfides, thiols, uh, sulforaphane, quercetin, terpenes, lutein, and anthoxanthins. Woo, that's a mouthful. So there's a lot. Obviously, I don't expect you to memorize this, but hopefully what you start to see is that eating a variety of fruits and vegetables and eating the rainbow, what I like to say, not Skittles, can actually have a ton of benefits for your health. Each color and each food and each nutrient single-handedly has an effect on how your body does every process it needs to do. So carotenoids, I think of carrot. So your orange vegetables, red, yellow vegetables, and it's in some green plants as well. So you're going to find this in tomatoes, carrots, squash, and broccoli. This may inhibit cancer growth and cardiovascular disease. Also important for boosting immunity, which is important. Flavonoids are in berries, apples, citrus, onions, soybeans, and also coffee. This may fight inflammation and tumor growth. Anthocyanins, so cyan, think of the color blue. This is going to be in berries and red wine. They're associated with lower blood pressure. Resveratrol, this is the wine one. In red wine, grapes, so resveratrol is in much larger quantities in grapes than wine. Just keep that in mind. It's also going to be in dark chocolate and peanuts, and it's associated with longevity. Proanthocyanidins and flavanols. These are in grapes as well as apples, cocoa, and red wine. So all these kind of go together. They're linked to better function of the lining of the arteries, and they can reduce blood pressure. Sulfides and thiols. So these are oftentimes the scents, smells, things that are going to lead to the watery eyes, things like that. So you're going to find that in onions, garlics, leeks, olives, and scallions. But benefits of this, that it may help decrease the bad or the LDL cholesterol, which remember we want to keep that under 100. Isothiocyanates and sulforaphane are in cruciferous vegetables. So cruciferous, think of the word cross. So anything that's cut and makes a cross. So broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. These are going to be common ones. Kale is another one that will fall in to this category of colors. This can help protect us against cancer and cardiovascular disease. Quercetin is in apples, onions, and citrus fruits and may help decrease inflammation and blood pressure. Terpenes are in cherries and citrus fruits and may help slow cancer growth and fight viruses. Lutein and zeaxanthin is in dark leafy greens and are linked to eye health. While anthocyanthins, this is going to be a lot of white products as well. I tried to match the color of the word with some foods associated with that word. So anthocyanthins are produced from the white category and can range from nearly colorless to bright white and even pale yellow. They may reduce stroke risk, promote heart health, prevent cancer, and reduce inflammation. So lots of benefits of anthocyanins as well. We know that inflammation can contribute to weight gain, stress, and all of that. So if we can reduce inflammation, that is a huge help to our goals. Okay, so I have that, and to kind of go along with our just focus on immunity with COVID running around, we want to make sure that we're addressing that the best that we can. So one of the other things I'm going to include is going to be more about immunity. Let's try immune. Okay. Foods for immune system function. So this will be attached as well to your email. So foods high in vitamin C. We're going to get more into water-soluble vitamins in the future, but bell peppers are great. They're going to contain 220% of your daily value of vitamin C, along with citrus fruits, strawberries, kiwis. Potatoes are a great source of vitamin C. Cauliflower, kale, cantaloupe, and tomatoes. Vitamin A will also have some of those foods. So we talked about carrots, sweet potatoes, cantaloupe, squash, pumpkin, and apricots. Eating foods high in probiotics, that's our healthy gut bacteria. That's a really good thing to do too, to help build up immunities and keep them as healthy as they can be. So yogurt, kefir is going to be a fermented product that could be helpful, along with sauerkraut, tempeh, miso. Those are going to be more soy-based products, fermented soy. High fiber foods feed healthy gut bacteria. This is what we call prebiotics. We're going to talk about this a couple months down the road. But prebiotics are oftentimes high in fiber. So oats, bananas, onions, apples, asparagus, garlic, jicama. It's a white vegetable, so get those anthocyanthins as well. And then barley is another example. Other tips, eating foods high in zinc and iron, such as beef, nuts, seeds, and spinach. Those are going to be good. Frozen options, I sent you the link of good options to choose either through pickup or in the grocery store. Frozen is great. It does a great job of preserving the nutrients and is relatively low sodium. So frozen is a decent option. If you are buying canned, I recommend rinsing and draining. That's going to decrease the sodium by about 40%. And this is the link, if you didn't get it, to some of those better options. Look out for a newsletter as well. I included some extra information about some good choices with the shopping frenzy right now and keeping that immunity up. So there's no such thing as an immune boosting food, but we can eat foods that are going to keep our immune system functioning optimally. Obviously, there are foods we eat that can hinder that, but if we can have, as recommended, about half of our plate with each meal consisting of these foods, that's going to help us greatly. So that's all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to respond to your questions and check in with me. And also, if you guys would like to send me your weights, I would love to keep tabs on those as well. So have a good one, guys. Make sure you're replying to just me and not the group. That way we can keep this personal. And I will talk to you guys next week. Thanks.